Yo, what is up guys? It's Insanity here, and I'm back with another tips and tricks video for you today. If you're new to the channel, please make sure to like and subscribe, as I'm going to be uploading a lot more frequently with educational videos about how to become a better console Fortnite player. Today, I want to go over my biggest 3 tips for how to become a better builder, as even with the recent nerfs to building, I still really firmly believe that building is the biggest differentiator between a good and a bad Fortnite player, or even a good and a great Fortnite player. With that in mind, I'm going to go through my biggest tips for becoming a top builder. Before I get into the video, I just wanted to announce that I'm actually going to be doing a V-Buck giveaway at 250 subs. The instructions are on the screen now. As you can see, all you have to do is subscribe, like this video, turn post notifications on, and make sure to comment your PSN or Epic Games account name down below. Again, this is only going to be at 250 subs, so if you enter, there's probably not going to be that many people who entered, so you're going to have a good chance of winning. So your odds are going to be pretty good, so make sure you enter, and alright, let's get right into the video. So my first tip has to do with fixing one of the biggest building mistakes that I'm sure almost all of you have struggled with at some point or another. And that's when you're building up trying to get the high ground from someone, and you go a little bit too fast, and you actually put a ramp on top of you. This completely messes up your rhythm and makes you reset, if not slowing you down completely and causing you to drop down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys 2 different ways. They both work. I prefer one over the other, and I'll explain why in a second. But I'm going to show you 2 different ways to combat this problem and make sure that you don't build a ramp on top of you and slow down your entire building speed. Okay, so the first method is, rather than just building a ramp next to your walls when you're going for a high ground, you're going to want to build a floor underneath you as you jump. So you're going to put a floor, a ramp, and jump. But you're going to do it in one motion like I show here in slow motion. You're going to look down, you're going to do a floor and a ramp. This will take a little getting used to, but it will actually really help with dealing with this. You'll actually become a much faster builder, and it will almost always prevent you from building a ramp on top of you. The only issue with this method is that at times it can slow your momentum down a little bit. But as you get used to it, it'll feel more natural, and I'm showing it here in some clips. You know, it looks a little unnatural at first, it feels a little unnatural at first, but it really does help, and you'll get used to it pretty quickly. So yeah, again, I'm just showing in these clips. You know, at first it feels a little unnatural, you know, but it becomes a pretty smooth motion where you build a floor, then you ramp, and you jump at the same time, and it becomes really natural. It actually looks pretty cool. It's more formidable. It'll be hard to shoot down. It'll use an extra 10 mats for each sequence, but you know, it really doesn't make that big of a difference in terms of mats or mat cost, but it really does help you get up faster and prevent you from building those ramps on top of you. So an alternative method for not getting caught under your ramps has to do more with positioning. So basically, as you're building up, you see here I have 2 walls, and I'm about to place a ramp. You're going to want to hug the wall facing the opposite direction. So I'm going up to the right, and I'm on the wall to the left. You'll see I'm higher up, so I don't have to jump as high for the next one. See, I can just jump a tiny bit, but if I were on the right side, I have to jump higher up. So it's actually pretty easy. It just has to do with positioning, and this will really help you. And what's great about this one is that if you bounce off the wall that you built, so like in this case to the left, if you bang into it a little bit, it'll fling you forward a little bit. It'll actually give you momentum and allow you to get up even faster. So you'll spend less time after you jump getting back into sprint mode. So this is actually great. I prefer this over the last one because it uses less mats. So this method's a little bit better, it's more cost effective, and it also allows you to get up a little bit faster in my opinion. So my next tip has to do not with getting the high ground from people above you, but for ramp rushing opponents. I firmly believe that the single ramp wall floor is the best overall technique, as I'm showing here, in terms of both its formidability and cost of mats. To do it, it's actually not that hard. The easiest way is to have your right pointer finger on R1 and your right middle finger on R2, and to build a ramp, then a floor, then a wall. So you're going to press L2, then R1, then R2. Do it slowly at first. You know, practice it, get the hang of it, but it'll actually feel pretty natural after a while. It feels almost as natural for me now as just a ramp wall rush. So it's really not that difficult. You know, you have to spend like 15 minutes or so, and it's not too difficult, but I think it's one of the best, you know, most formidable rushing techniques, because people kind of freak out when you do it, and it's also just really hard practically to shoot down because you have those 3 different supports on it, those 3 different mats on it, so it's really not easy to shoot down. And if someone starts shooting it down, you know, it's going to take them long enough to the point where you can get an easy shot on them from a higher angle in most cases. So my next tip is just a variation on the same tip. You know, when you're doing a ramp floor wall rush, but it's more when you're kind of ARing someone from a distance. They're sitting on a ramp, you're sitting on a ramp, you're sticking it out. It's kind of just a standoff. No one's rushing for the high ground. What you're going to do is you're going to put a floor, then a wall, and a ramp, and jump. But this will just allow you to quickly hop up and get an angle on your opponent so that you can always be firing down on them, because that's what you want to do in these situations. You know, don't go too high, because if they have an explode or something, they could knock you down. This is a great way to just quickly get up and have a little bit of an angle advantage on your opponent. You know, it's not hard to learn, and it's a little bit more efficient than some other ways of getting the high ground from that distance. But I think it's a great technique to learn. It really helped me out, you know, for getting scar pickoffs or sniper pickoffs when you're just in those standoffs that can seem to go on for a while. You know, those are kind of the hard fights, those mid-range fights, at least in my opinion. So this is just kind of a trick to give you a quick advantage over them. So now my last tip is, I think, the most important, and it is to be smart with your building. Build with a purpose. It is relatively easy to take materials down now, especially with the nerfs and, you know, the buffs to explodes. And you spend too much time racing to the sky in a build battle, as I like to call it, you're going to get shot down. You're going to get pinched, you're going to get crunched, or they're just going to drop down and take you down. So, you know, use your building as a means to an end, meaning it's a way to make it easier to kill your opponents, and not just as a means building just to build, you know, to get up as high as possible. If you watch these guys on PC like Daquan or Ninja, you know, they always build with a purpose, and you should too. You know, you're always looking to get a shot on your opponent as they're building from below if you have the high ground, or if you get them weak and they're on the defensive, you should, you know, you should judge when you should drop down and push them. And I think that's, you know, really important, especially right now with the new meta in Season 5. I feel like building's still important, but you need to use it very efficiently. You can't just build up to the sky anymore and then just kind of sit there and kill them, you know, and take your time from above and just kind of slowly shoot down on them. You really got to use it effectively and quickly. So I think that about wraps it up, guys. I hope you enjoyed and learned something. You know, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I hope you guys entered that giveaway. You know, it will be in my 250 sub video. And alright, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.